Hey everybody, this is Brett, and this morning I'm cutting up apples and drying them. And I got the apples from my neighbor's yard. They're just scattered all over in his front yard. And I was walking by there the other day and I'm like, I'm gonna stop and see if he'll let me have these apples and take them home and then dry them out. And that's exactly what I've been doing. So I bought, I gathered 2 big bags of these apples, and you can see that, you know, they've got some rotten ones that are not looking too good, but most of these, if you just take them, you can cut off the bad parts and keep the good parts. They're little green apples. What was that song? Little green apples, and it don't rain in Indianapolis in the summertime. So, like, see that? You can just cut that off. If you want, you can just get rid of that piece and keep these 4. There you go. And you just take them, and I've got a Excalibur dehydrator back there in the trailer in the back. But and then what I'm doing is I'm taking some cinnamon and putting a little bit of cinnamon on there. See, I'm just tapping it with my finger because I don't want to sprinkle it all over the whole thing because I'll miss a lot of it. You know, it'll go through the screen. It's not a perfect science, you know. So if I want, then I could, you know, kind of spread it around there on them. And a lot of you might be thinking, wow, I'd never have the time to do all of that. I've got to go to work and blah blah blah. But you know, the thing is that I've managed to do this. I managed to do things like this because I work at home. So imagine all the time that I spend not driving. Even though I did go to Asheville last night and go to a cool gathering. Imagine all the time that I save from not driving because I don't drive near as much as most people, which is good because I have an old car that could break down at any time. Not really, because it's a Toyota, you know. I did my homework. So I used to own an auto detailing business, and I know that a good old Toyota will probably just keep going and going even though it burns a crap load of oil because it's got almost 250,000 miles on it. Anyway, so so then you just take it and let's go put it in the dehydrator. If I can do this with one hand. It's kind of heavy because they're not dried out yet, you know. Okay, in a minute I'll put the lid on there. This goes right on there, and then start her up for like a day and a half or something. And I finished a bunch already. Just put them in a jar. Screw the lid down fairly tight. There's another one. And there you go. Free, pretty much, other than the cinnamon, and you know, I have to do the labor, but free dried apples. And it's amazing how many fruit trees there are in this country. Like when I lived in Asheville, there was a fruit tree on Graceland Road. I would see them in Montford, and I would stop and like see if I could get them. People will give you their fruit because they don't want to take the time. They don't have the time. They have to pay for all of their things. And they don't even have... See, that is an absolute proof how badly society is out of balance when people actually don't either want to pick healthy fruit off their own trees. They won't even take the time to prepare it, to save it. They don't even want to consume it for a lot of different reasons. But yeah, if you can figure out, how to get your life back to balance, which means that you're doing things naturally and you're respecting the environment, and when you do that, you're respecting your life and your own health. And if you don't, then you know that you're just going to feel guilty because you're not. So I want to thank you for joining me. Be well.